Hello everyone, welcome back to UiPath tutorials. So in this video, I am going to discuss on the questions asked in UiARD certification exam on the mail activities. Previously, we have covered some of the topics on invoke method and the invoke code, filter activities, RE framework and state machine, and the background process automation. So you can watch my UiARD exam preparation playlist where you can start from the session 1, or if you want to watch the individual video, that you can also watch. Now moving back to my mail activities part, let's start with the question 1. So the developer has used the get Outlook mail message activity to read emails from Outlook. Now what number of email bot will read if default value of top property is used? So the ask here is, if the developer is using the get Outlook mail message activity to read the emails, then what will be the default value passed in the top property? So choose the correct option. A is 50, B is 100, C is all emails, and D is 30. So, and the answer is D for it, that's 30. Let me show you that in Studio also. So when you drag drop this get Outlook mail message activity, you will find it like the top property will have the 30 default value always. Now let's move to the next part, where I have mentioned some of the points that need to be remembered and which will be going to be helpful in your exam. Now the first point is that default value of order by date property is new first. Now if you see the get Outlook mail message activity here, and in the property the order by date is having the default value is the newest first, means the bot will going to pick the newest email first. We can change it to the older first also, but the default value will always remain the newest first. Now the second point is, by default only unread message property check to true. So if you see here, or the only when you use the get Outlook mail message activity, the only unread messages checkbox is checked always. So by default it will going to read the unread messages. Third point is, the output of get Outlook mail message activity is list. So when we go to the output part, where I have already created one variable mails, if I explore this, the variable type is the list of mail messages. Now if I expand it, it's the list is a generic list and the type is system.net.mail.mail messages. So the question can be asked in any way, like what is the what is the output of the get Outlook mail message activities, and what is the default properties that has been checked in the get Outlook mail message activities. So just remember these points. So I have not prepared a separate question for each, because I think it's enough for you to grab the things from here. Now to read all emails, just use 0 in top properties. The question can be asked like, if the user want to read, or the developer wants to read all the emails from the get Outlook mail message activity, then what value the user need to supply, or the developer need to supply. So in the properties, in the top, the developer need to pass the 0 here. Now the bot will going to read all the emails. So I'm making it 30 now for now. Now the bot cannot send the email through send Outlook mail message activity if Outlook is not installed, and that is true. If the Outlook is not installed in your machine, and if you are trying to send an email through send Outlook mail message activity, the bot will not going to send an email and it will going to be failed. Now the save attachment activity can save all the attachment of an email to absolute path. This point also you need to remember it, like when we are saving the files, when we want to save the attachment from the email, then we use the save attachment activities, which will going to save all the attachment of email to absolute path. Now let's move to the question number 2. The developer has used the get Outlook mail message activity to read emails from Outlook as shown in below image. Now this is the sequence here. The developer is trying to read the emails. Now the question is what type of argument to choose to get email information, subject, body, date in item. Now in item, for now if you see highlighted in yellow, right now it's object. So what the developer need to select here, what type of argument, so that the bot will going to work in this iteration. Now the correct option, you have to choose the correct option. The option is system.net.mail.messages, system.net.mail.message, system.net.mail, system.net.mail info. And the correct answer is answer B, which is system.net.mail.message. Let me go to the studio once. Okay, now this is the Outlook where I'm reading the emails and putting into the mails. And if you see here in the iteration part, if I check the property of for each, then you see the type of argument I have selected here is system.net.mail.message. Now this is the correct answer. Okay, please ignore uh, the background noises. Now, so this is clear, like sometimes in the exam, just give me a minute. So sometimes in the exam the image will be given, not exactly image. There they will provide the selection options, and from here you have to type the correct, you have to select the correct option. So in that way also you will find some of the question in that particular way where you have to select the correct option from by selecting this type of argument. Let's move to the question 3 where account is the property of which mail activity. Choose the correct option. Get Outlook mail messages, get Exchange mail messages, get IMAP mail messages, get POP3 mail messages. What is the correct option? The correct option is answer A, just get Outlook mail messages. So you will find this account property in get Outlook mail messages only. Now if I let me show you that this is the Outlook mail message activity where you will find this is the account property here, but if you see in the other like in get Exchange you will not going to find this account property anywhere, not in the IMAP also, even not in get POP3. So this is pretty much clear, right? Let's move to the question number 4. A developer is reading email from get Exchange mail message activity to write and write line activity to print date of each email. And now developer is reading mails with the help of get Exchange mail message activity. Now in the right line you want to print the date of each email, which is highlighted in yellow. Choose the correct option. So what exactly the developer need to pass here, like item dot date, item dot headers in the bracket date, item dot headers in the bed in the double quotes it's a date, item dot body dot date. And the answer is C here, which is item dot headers in the bracket in the double quotes is date. Let me move to the studio for this. So instead of Exchange I'm just using the Outlook because this something uh, goes wrong with this activity. I'm getting some error, so I'm using the get Outlook mail message activity, and where I'm passing here the item dot header in the bracket date. And if I'm going to run this, it will going to print the output, the date here. So this is something you have to type here as a item dot headers in the bracket date in the double quotes. So this question was asked in my UIARD exam when I had given it. So this particular question was presented that time. Now let's move to the question 5, which is what activity can you use to send an email without entering the username and the password of the email account? If you want to send an email without entering the username and password, then which activity you have to use it? Send Outlook mail message, send Exchange mail message, send SMT mail message, send IBM Notes mail message. And the correct answer is A, which is send Outlook mail message. Because if you see in the send Outlook mail message, we don't have the username and password. You see, we don't have as username and password. But in the Exchange, we have to supply the username. We have to supply the user and the password. In the same way in IMAP also, we have to supply the email address and the password here. So the correct option is A, where we don't require to enter the username and password. Question 6 says, what is the output of save mail message activities? Choose the correct option like .eml, .msg, .pptx, .xlx. The correct option is A, that is .eml. Why that is .eml? So let me go to the question 9. Let me enable this for now. If you see here, I am just passing the path here, where in the end I am using the test.eml. If you see here, I am using test.eml because I am saving this mail message in the form of .eml. Now if I'm going to run this, and see the output here, so you see the email is saved here. But if I try to put here .msg, if I try to run the bot again, then it will going to throw the error. It is denied. The error is denied. So you have to remember this error also, because sometimes they will ask you like, if I put this msg, what will be the error message? It will be denied, saying the access to the path is denied. The correct way is to pass .eml. And now let's move to the question 7. Now, what activity allow you to customize the name of the sender when you are sending an email? Now choose the correct option. You have a multiple choice. Now send Outlook mail message, send Exchange mail message, send SMTP, and send IBM Notes mail message. And the answer is B and C. This is send Exchange mail message and send SFT mail message, where we can customize the name of the sender. Uh, this is all about the questions on the mail activities. Now I'm moving to the PDF part. I don't have much of the questions on this, but yes, let's start from this question number 1, where it's saying like how to set a page number in read PDF text activity if developer wants to read data of page number 2 and 3. Choose the correct option. So A is in the double quotes 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 and 3, 2 to 3. And the correct option is A, which is 2-3 or 2-3. Now let me open my studio. So this is the PDF file, exam description I am having here. So the total number of pages is 7 here. Now in the properties, for now I have passed it here 5 and the end. If I pass here 2, 3, then it will going to give me only the 2 and 3 page information. Now in the output, if you see, it start from the introduction 3, and if I open this PDF file, and if I move to page number 2, then it is starting from here. You see introduction, sorry, It is starting from introduction page 3, then target audience, and this is what is printed here, target audience. And if you go to the last, this is version 1.5 UiPath orchestrator. This is the information of page 3. Now if you move to the page 3 here, this is what the information is. This is captured, this is also captured, this is also captured, you see. So this is how you can change the page numbers, and the right way to do it is to write it in the double quotes 2-3. Now there's a point to remember in the PDF file. Now if you want to read all the pages, you have to write all in the double quotes. Now everything will be in the double quotes, just remember it. To read the page 1, 3 and 5 to 7 pages, then we have to write it as 1, 3, 5 hyphen 7. To read from the 5th to last page, then you have to write it as a 5 hyphen end. Output of read PDF text activity is of string type always. Now if you see here, I am saving the output in this variable, and the variable type is the string here. Let me close this. Now to read image PDF, use read PDF with OCR. If so, for example, this is the PDF file, but instead of it we are having the image, then we have to use the read PDF with OCR activities, because this will not work. So these are some of the points that you need to remember for the PDF activities. So this is it for today's video. Hope you like it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.